Welcome back, SurfNav. This is still Walt O'Donnell, a SurfNav instructor, and in this video, we're going to be calculating the transit time. In the previous video, we found out that we'll depart Karachi, Pakistan at 0410 GMT on 24 May 2023, and we need to arrive in San Diego at 0245 GMT on 20 June 2023. So for this video, we'll do some math, figure out the amount of time between those two times. We'll get it into days, hours, and minutes, and then we'll convert it into hours to figure out our total transit time. So let's write down the information we know. We need to arrive in San Diego at 0245 GMT on 20 June 2023. And we need to depart Karachi, Pakistan at 0410 GMT on 24 May 2023. Probably noticed that I put my arrival time on top, my departure time below, because we're about to do some subtraction. This is the way I prefer to do it because this number, I see it as a bigger number than this number because it's later, June compared to May, so that when we subtract, we'll take this bigger number on top and subtract the smaller number on the bottom. There are quite a few different ways to figure out your transit time. This is just one of them. Now we're going to subtract these two to figure out the difference in time between the arrival and departure. When doing these problems, I always prefer to do the smallest units first and work towards the bigger ones. So the smallest unit here will be the minutes. We'll do those first. Then we'll do the hours. And then we'll do the days. So we'll use our calculator for this. We'll do 45 minutes minus 10 minutes and get 35 minutes. Then we'll do the hours. We'll do 2 hours minus 4 hours. We would get a negative number here, so we can't do that. So instead, what we're going to do is we're actually going to add 24 hours to this. We're going to add a whole day because it's 24 hours in one day. In order to do that, though, we need to take a day from over here. So we'll take a day from over here and we'll add a day or 24 hours over here. So it looks like this. This 20 June, we're going to take a day and that's now going to become 19 June. This 02 hours over here, we'll add that 24 hours here and that'll become 26. So conceptually, arriving at 26:45 GMT on 19 June 2023 is the same thing as arriving at 0245 GMT on 20 June 2023. It just really helps us with the math. So now going back over here, now we can do this. We're going to take 26 hours, we're going to subtract 4 hours from it, and get 22 hours. Next, we'll do the days. Now, this is going to be a little bit tricky because you go from one month to the next. You can't take 19 and subtract 24. We would get a negative number. Some people like to count on their hands or do something else. What we're going to do is just show you the math a different way to do it. We're going to look at June and May and make both of these May. So we have to turn 19 June into a date in May. Well, we know that there are 31 days in May. So we're going to take the 31 days in May. We're going to add 19 to it and get 50. So this tells us that 19 June is the same thing as 50 May. It might look a little weird, but remember now we can subtract because we have the same unit. We have May. So now we'll take 50, we'll subtract 24 from it and get 26 days. And you'll see that our Mays cancel out. So we're left with just days. Again, there are many different ways to figure out the difference in time from arrival to departure in GMT. This is one of the many ways. Even if you don't use this to solve your problems, it'll be good for you to know so that when you get to your ship and someone doesn't like or doesn't understand the method that you use, you can say, hey, here's another method. So now we have our transit time in days, hours, and minutes. That's great. The only problem is we can't put that into our calculator to do our time, speed, distance math. So what we have to do is convert our days, hours, and minutes into just hours. So to do that, let's start with our days. We have to take these 26 days and convert them to hours. We know that each day has 24 hours in it. So we're going to take those 26 days and multiply it by 24 hours. and we get 624 hours. You see that for the units, the days cancel out, so we're left with just hours. Next up, we'll do our minutes over here. We know that there are 60 minutes in an hour, so we'll take that 35 minutes divided by 60 minutes, and we get 0.583 hours for units. These minutes cancel out, we're left with hours. And for the last step, well, these hours are already in hours, so we just have to move them down here. 22 hours. Now that we have everything in hours, we're going to add these together in our calculators, and we get 646.583 hours. That is our total transit time. And just a quick note about rounding here. We're going to leave these out to 3 digits or thousandths. We don't want to round until the very end of the problem if you even round at all, because if you round on each step, you might round yourself out of tolerance. Also, it's probably easier just to keep this entire number just in your calculator because we're going to use it in the next step. Especially when you're doing any ETA or speed required problem, you probably don't want to round until the end of the problem. And there we go. We took our departure time in Karachi in GMT and our arrival time in San Diego in GMT, and we did some math to figure out the amount of time between that departure and arrival, and that transit time was 646.583 hours. In our next video, we'll show you how to do the time, speed, distance calculations. We just calculated that the transit time was 646.583 hours. We are looking for the speed. We also need our distance. We'll show you in the next video how to go into Pub 151, distances between ports, to figure out the distance between 2 ports, in this case, Karachi, Pakistan, and San Diego, California.